And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sheepkey Shear podcast. Here we talk about people, politics, and normally popular culture. And of course, I'm your host, Austin Creed. But today, folks, we're going to do something a little different today because we're talking a little bit about popular culture. But look, I got to blow the lid off this whole thing because it's something that's very near and dear to my heart. In fact, I'm writing a book on it right now. So I can tell, even with talking with my brothers, with talking with my friends, this is a topic that needs to be discussed. And so, considering that I looked this up on YouTube actually, and there's all kinds of different videos and topics about it. But the interesting part is it's mainly from guys who are a little bit older. And not to say they're not knowledgeable, don't get me wrong, but they don't understand the groundwork that I've done because I'm only 23. I'm still in this very, young category, early 20s category. So today's show is going to be entitled "The Five Things That These are Five Secrets for Young Men That Really Society Doesn't Want You to Learn. They don't want you to see it." So we're going to talk about that today, and I'll break each one of them down. But before we get started, throughout this entire list of these five things, if you have anything you want to say, I want your voice to be heard. You can either leave it in the comment section, or you can head on over to my Twitter at Austin Creed. Bring it up over there. We'll talk about it. So without further ado, I want to get to my list. And I was making this list a little earlier. Anybody have like these coffee thoughts? Am I the only person that does that? Maybe I am. But these are some like, things I've experienced. A lot of them, unfortunately, made some mistakes. Learned the hard way. But that's exactly why we're talking about it today, because quite frankly, I don't want you to learn it the hard way, and I want you to learn it the easy way, because who doesn't want to learn the easy way, right? So, we're going to get into this today. And now, this might be things your dad never told you. And if he didn't, well, then he did you a disservice, in my opinion. Even though we love fathers, because it's Father's Day. And so, fathers, y'all can sit back. I'm going to do your job for today. I will do your job for today. You can sit back and enjoy yourself on this beautiful Sunday. But here's what we're going to talk about. Number one on my list of 5 secrets that society does not want you to know. Number one, you must, and I will reiterate this, you must outsmart the snake. Now, when I say snake, multiple images will come to your mind. But when I say outsmart the snake, I mean that guy. That guy right down there, yeah. If you're a dude, you know what I'm talking about. And you got to outsmart that guy. He will get in your way every single step of the way. He will try to hinder you. He will try to make you do things maybe you wouldn't have done. That's what post-nut clarity is for, by the way. You ever had that post-nut clarity where you're like, dang, why did I do that? That was goofy. I don't even want to be around this girl anymore. Golly, I gotta get out of here. You ever done that before? Sound familiar? Yeah, straight up. So this is why I'm telling you right now, just cut that out. Cut that out of here. It's garbage. Stop doing it. If you can have pipe control, my friends, you will be light years ahead of so many other men. I don't care what age group you are. I see dudes out here that are almost my father's age, and they're out here talking about, yeah, man, I took it to the crib, and I did this, and I did that, and I'm like, what the, how old are you again? Like, do you not have goals? You not have dreams? You bragging about getting with some strag? You getting with, you're bragging about getting with girls who are for everybody. That's not an accomplishment. I'm not out here bragging because at the end of the day, who cares? What matters is what you do with your life. And if that's what you're doing with your life, if you think chasing around girls in the school, back in the schoolyard is what, you should have left that crap back in 3rd grade, 5th grade, 7th grade, maybe even 12th grade. Don't do that crap no more. Seriously, you look dumb. If you want respect, have some pipe control, have some discipline. And that's not just a decision you make right now. You can't just be like, oh yeah, Austin, I agree with you. That sounds great. I'm going to do that. No. Every single day you got to make that choice. Every single day you got to tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to have to put this to work today. Because if I don't put it to work, is going to work against me every step of the way. It's going to distract me when I'm working. It's going to distract me over some random bullcrap, and then it's going to get in my way. No. Be better. Because then everybody around you, they might try to make fun of you for it, but they're trying to cope for their lack of control. And I'm telling you right now, do not give in. Because I'll tell you something else, and I'm going to tie this in later. This is another point, but I'll tie it in later. Women like winners. They don't like losers. And you're a loser if you're chasing women. Yes, you heard me right. If you're chasing women, you are a loser. Because the guys at the top, they don't chase women. They open their dang phone and they look, yes, I don't want her, I don't want her, I don't want her, maybe her, maybe not. They don't care. They're not like, oh my, no one's in, my Tinder's empty, what do I do? No, they're like, my DMs be litty, I got all the girls I want, I'm bored, I don't even want to do it. Or they'll just say, come over to the crib. Boom. That's it. They don't need no game. They don't need to try to flex and be like, yeah, girl, I got all this going on. Yo, man, hold my drink. Yeah, let me spit some game. No, they don't do that goofy garbage. You having to do that? Wasting time, wasting money. No wonder why you're a loser. Number 2, you need to be able to see strength in solitude. Because let me tell you something right now. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. I'm telling you right now. You could have all the friends in the world, be the most popular guy in school. I'm going to tell you something. That period's going to end, and there's going to be a time in your life when you are lonely. You're alone. You need to be alone, but not lonely. Because let me tell you something. That is when you make the worst mistakes of your life, is when you're lonely. That's when you go and you try to get with some random girl. That's when you try to go and, I need to hang out with some friends. I need to go to the bar. I need to go to this. I need to do that. No. Think about all the time you're wasting. Don't do that. I mean, do it at your own risk. Look, when I say don't do things, I'm telling you because I care. I want you to do better than me. I want you to do better than most other people. Because most people, they're not even listening to the show. They don't even care enough to learn. They might listen for 5 seconds, and then before they know it, they're just like, oh, I'm going to go look at some random thought on Instagram. Or, oh, I'm going to go see if Becky will text me back. Or they're going to go do, maybe they'll go choke the chicken. They'll do something like that. That's a complete waste of their time, and they're not listening. If you're listening to the show, you're not the average person. I mean, for God's sakes, what is it? It's June 18th. And you're listening to a podcast show, you're not normal. Most people who are normal are off on vacation, or they're off doing some random, they're off having fun. They're not out here listening to a cynical young guy talk about life. But I appreciate it, and it tells me that you're different. You're set apart from most people. Number 3. You gotta learn number 3, envy is evil. Now, I want to pull up a quote because for those of you who don't know about who Napoleon Bonaparte was, you're missing out. He was a great man. In my opinion, France has not been a dang thing since Napoleon. They've really just been, nothing. But he has a great quote about envy that I'm going to pull up for y'all right here. Here it is. All right, let me share the screen. Here it is. Napoleon Bonaparte said, "Envy is a declaration of inferiority." Now you may ask me, well, Austin, how does that make it evil? Well, let me ask you a question. Are you inferior? I didn't think so. Evil is defined as transgression of the law. It is against transgressing the law is to be envied, to be jealous of other people. Because then you're telling them they are better than you. That no matter what they have, whether it's a nice car, nice house, nice good-looking girlfriend, whatever it is, if you're envious of them, you are declaring to everybody and yourself that you cannot achieve what they have. That is what you're saying. Who in their right mind would do something so toxic and dangerous to yourself? I'm serious. Why would you do that to yourself? It's one thing to say, dang, I'm mad at myself because I'm not at that level. Even then, you're too much like me if you're doing that. But what I'm telling you is this. Do not envy anybody. Because as soon as you do that, you are telling everybody else and you that you cannot get what they have. You are declaring you are inferior to that person. Are you inferior? No? Then stop acting like you are. Don't act like you are, because then you'll be treated as such. Number 4. Again, you're listening to the 5 secrets that society does not want you to see. Number 4. Women choose the winners. Now, I know if you're a young guy like me, you're probably thinking, oh, I need to get married, I need to build something together with this woman, and everything's going to work out, and I'm going to be the Prince Charming, she's going to be the Snow White, and then guess what? I'm going to live happily ever after. Wrong. No. Not likely. I mean, is it possible? Sure. Sure, it's possible. But let me tell you something. If you think that most women want to go through the struggle and the mud and the blood and the sweat and the tears to build something with you, when they could just try to chase a guy who's already a billionaire, who could just hand them everything, what do you think sounds better? What do you think that you're more likely to do? Let me flip it on you. Let's say you're the woman, and you could right now have a guy that you could build something with and have it potentially be everything you've ever dreamed, or you could potentially bag the guy who already has everything you've ever wanted, and all you gotta do is get him to choose you. What do you think sounds more exciting? What do you think sounds more intriguing? And what do you think has the potential bigger payoff? It's not option 1. It's not option 1. It's option 2. Which is why I'm telling you that you need to chase personal perfection and not potential puss. Because the minute you stop doing that is the minute you tell yourself you are not defined by what you can conquer in the bedroom. You tell yourself you are not defined by that. You are defined by your success and by whatever definition that you establish for yourself. Now that's powerful. That is powerful. Not saying that women are not... Look, that's not meant to paint women in a bad light, by the way. That's just what they've evolved to do. Just as you've evolved to be competitive with other men, they have evolved to be competitive with other women to get high-value men. That's how it works. I don't know what else to tell you. That's why I'm not against it. In fact, you should be happy about that, and I'll tell you why. Because you would not have the good gene pool that you have. Your gene pool would be far worse if your parents were somebody from the hood, not from the hood, just from the bottom of society. If you're on the very rock bottom of society, you don't want to be there. You want to be on the top. You want to have the cream of the crop genetics. You want to have the rich dad, the rich uncle, the rich grandpa. That's what you want. So why would you not try to give that to your kids? Why would you not try to give that to the future? That's what you should do. Now, number 5 on the list. Finances buy freedom, not happiness. I don't understand. I don't know where this notion came from that if you have money, you're happy all the time. Have you ever seen a rich person or met a rich person? Now, they're not sad, per se, but their life is complicated. They have a lot of things they're juggling all at the same time, and their life is chaotic. It buys you freedom. What you do with that freedom, that's up to you. But you can't buy happiness. You can buy freedom. You can have the ability to be autonomous, but you don't have the ability to just be happy all the time. And in fact, I would argue it's bad for you to be happy all the time. Because then it makes it less valuable. Look, I get it. That's a very Nietzschean idea. If you don't know who Friedrich Nietzsche was, go look him up. He's one of my favorite philosophers of all time. But his idea is very much, the more you suffer, the more you value your happiness. And so if you're just going to tell me that you want to be happy and be a hedonist and chase the pleasure, here's pleasure, there's pleasure, have pleasure, consume pleasure, whatever, you're not actually going to be happy. Let me ask you something. If you're a complete hedonist, okay, party animal, drug abuser, whatever, are you actually a happy person? In my experience, the people who are chasing happiness are the most unhappy people on the planet. Anybody have anything they want to say about that? I don't know if you can, because guess what? It's true. It's straight up true. My friends, those are the 5 things that every young man should know, and those are secrets that most people won't tell you. You might hear versions of it from maybe your friends, your family, whoever, but you're not going to hear them laid out in very simplistic terms like I just did for you today. Now, if you want to show appreciation to your boy, I'd appreciate it. You can leave a comment, leave a like on the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rumble channel, subscribe to the podcast. But at the end of the day, I want you to learn from what I just told you. I'm going to leave all 5 in the description because I want you to reflect upon them when the time comes. Because when the time comes, I want you to be able to be disciplined and not be defeated. Because people who are disciplined experience much less defeat. I want you to be able to be like Atlas, holding the world up above you while you're barely breaking a sweat. Because that's how tough you've become. Not complaining and saying to your therapist, hey, doc, my life's kind of falling apart and like, I don't know what I'm going to do and I'm barely making it through the month. And, No, I don't want you to be that guy. I don't want you to be that guy. Now, if you need to be that guy for a little bit, I've been that guy before. So I know what it's like. I'll get into that story another time. It ties back into my Air Force days. But, my friends, it's a very simple yet very difficult thing to do. The 5 tips we just laid out. But just know that if you can abide by these 5 principles, your life will change and your life will be set apart by anyone else that you meet who does not follow those tips. Anyways, my friends, I'll cut the show short today because I really wanted to just drive these points home because I think it's important. But anyways, any thoughts, comments, concerns, whatever, leave them in the comment section. Find me on Twitter at Austin Creed. If you like the video, you like the podcast, leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, because you'll find a lot more where this came from. Till next time, my friends, it's been Austin Creed. God bless you, God bless your family, God bless America. We're out of here. Peace.